Let us explore the intersection between meditation, science, and preconceptions. Personally, I'm a science groupie. I'm always listening to scientists talk on YouTube. A physicist once told me that when he was an undergrad, he was expecting that once he had his PhD, he would be surrounded by men of integrity who loved science more than their preconceptions, their beliefs, and when their most cherished beliefs were shattered by overwhelming new evidence that had been run through the rigors of the scientific process, including not only peer review, but replication, they would gladly set aside their previous beliefs and embrace the new facts, not unlike Johannes Kepler did when exposed to the evidence that the planets had elliptical orbits as opposed to circular ones. But he found out once he had his PhD and he was circulating amongst other scientists that no, many scientists were humans and flawed, and they had their biases, their chauvinisms, and they would not let go of antiquated ideas that had been disproven by the rigors of science. And so what would happen is the newer scientists would simply wait for the older scientists to pass away. So one of the things that I have learned from my practice, my study, my wrestling sometimes with the Tao Te Ching is to insert flexibility into language. And so instead of saying, this proves conclusively thus and such, to say, this evidence seems to infer this, and I'm very comfortable with this, and when new evidence comes my way that is also submitted to the rigors of the scientific theory, I will most likely feel comfortable with that as well. It would seem that the human grasp of the world within us and around us has been progressing geometrically. And what we knew for certain 3 centuries ago is laughable today. And what we know today for certain may be laughable in the next century or the century after that, assuming, of course, our species survives the climactic travails caused by our own enthusiasm, ignorance, and greed. But what a scientist must do is be flexible to the process. The more rigid he becomes, the less, not only the less of a good scientist he becomes, but the more of an impediment to the human evolution of comprehension he or she becomes. And as a science groupie, I'm very, very sad, but I have to admit that not all scientists are created equal. Not all are as intelligent as others. Not all are as ethical as others. And some can be bought. But the majority of scientists do have honor and do have intelligence and do have integrity. I hope that makes sense. If anyone has additional questions on this subject, please feel free to leave me a comment in the area below the video. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso, and this is the Buddha Joy Meditation School.